Hello. I hope everyone's having a good day. I wanted to do a quick live on free genealogy resources. And I'm going to do three today, and then I'm going to do, three more. There's so many out there. There's so many ways to do your ancestry, research free. So, first, I'm going to start with, hold on one second. Okay, so first off, I'm going to start out with Family Search. And this is very, very similar to Ancestry. The trees are different, the layout's different, but this is a free website. So let me think of a name and we'll get started. Um, okay, I think, let me make sure I'm still signed in. Yeah, okay. So we'll just search the last name. Mm, no, let's go this way. Okay, so you could put in, if you know their first name, of course, it's going to be like a grandparent, an aunt, and uncle. Somebody you're going to know their first name, most likely where they were born, uh, around what year. It doesn't have to be exact. It could be from 1895 to 1905. So it gives you the more options right here. You can put in the first name. So if you're doing a female, you're going to put in her maiden name, because all the records that you're going to want before marriage are going to be in her maiden name. And also it helps you to find somebody that's married. So say you're looking for Estella Gaston, then you would put Estella, you'd put, you'd put the at least a state or somewhere around that she was born. You don't even have to. You could literally just put in here, I'll show you. I'm just going to put in the last name of Gaston, scroll down, search, and 714,000, well, almost, yeah, that's a lot. So we have all these right here. Now, obviously, when you put a first name, you're going to get more. I saw John. Let's do it, John. You're going to get more results. So let's try that. And I know there's a lot of them in New Jersey. So go down here and the thing's going to pop up for you. Hit search. And I'll show you what kind of records that you can find. Okay, so I didn't give a birthday, so it's just gonna throw everything out at me. Now, if I had put a birth date in there, it's going to narrow it down just a ton. So let's go see what we can find here. So this is birth and christenings, and then you're also going to have census, the US Census. And if you check over here, it's going to say married, white, years married. It's going to give you all the information. You can also, and I do this mostly on my phone. Well, no, here we go. So, okay, start up here. This is the census record. This is what's been put in by Family Search. They have volunteers that go in and put all this information in the computer so we can use it for free, which is wonderful. These are going to be the spouse and children. So all these names right here. Okay, and these are different right here. Let me see if it says border, because I don't. These might be neighbors. Yeah, probably neighbors. Usually you're going to find a list of brothers and sisters, siblings. Sometimes you're going to find an aunt or an uncle that's living there during the time of the census, which is common back the further back you go. let's go into more searches. So you can search records, full text, images, family trees, genealogies, catalog books, research wiki, cemeteries, and newspapers. So these are kind of all, the things that you can search in here. And if you just go hit search records, it's going to take you here. And this is where you can put in a name. And the most important thing is know what you're researching and know who some of the family members are, and know that they're, because if you see something on a census record that doesn't make sense, you're going to know, right? So if you know your grandma's name is Julie and it says that John Gaston lives with Anna Gaston and John Gaston, then it's probably, it's not going to be that person unless it's a step parent, that can happen. But I mean, you're going to see things and it's going to make sense to you once you start researching records. Obviously, you're going to probably know who your grandparents are, where they were born. And also later, we'll get into the DNA triangulation and how you can see how somebody's related to you. And I predict within, I don't know, within 5 years, Ancestry, like, Ancestry, DNA, 23andMe, they'll probably have some kind of AI generation that does it for you. But for now, like people who do, say, the Idaho murder investigation, they triangulate the DNA out through a couple specific websites that law enforcement is allowed to use. And so those are GEDmatch. And so what you would do, if you know how to build a tree and you know how to look for the records, you'll know how to, eventually you'll understand what DNA triangulation is and how you get to it and how you know percentages, centimorgans, and all the stuff that you need to know about the triangulation of the DNA and how you take it up to the two common ancestors, and then you go out and into the future and, just break it down each time you go down. So, okay, now we're going to hold on one second. So the next one, one of my favorites also is Find a Grave. And this is just cemeteries. But like when this first came out, it was, it started off slow, but it's huge now. I think Ancestry does own Find a Grave. So they're also going to have maybe some attachment to some records that they might have in their library. I don't know if it's a separate entity. I just know that it's owned by the same, I don't know, people, I guess. Used to be. So I'm trying to think. You can search this the same way you would the other website. You just put the name, last name. You can go to years born. You can see the drop down here, exact, before, after. You can guess pretty much. Year died, and that has the same thing. Cemetery location, a state, a town, a county. You can put anything in there and it's going to find it out. So let me see. We'll go with John Gaston again. Whoops, I am slow at typing. Hold on one second. And then I can come down here and put in and there'll be a lot of them. Here we go. What is it doing? Usually I do this on my phone, so give me a second. I don't know why it's doing this. We'll go to Essex County. Oh my God, just go. Okay, so this is tripping. Hold on 1 second. Oh, that's why. My bad. I put it in the wrong. You have to have a last name. And then you can also just put, if you don't know the full name, you can just put J. And then we'll just go Essex County. And it's still doing it. There we go. Let's try this. Okay, fuck you. This thing this thing is tripping on me. Middle name, last name Gaston. There we go. Sorry. Got it. Okay, so it's going to show you all the John Gastons, and there's uh, little things next to their names, and that tells you if they have like a biography, if there's people leave flowers. It could be family members that come along online and leave digital flowers. This one is a veteran, and somebody's left flowers. I'm trying to find one with a bio. Let me see. This might have, possibly, it might have an obituary. No. Let's find John Elmer Gaston. Okay, so it's going to have, I like the version on my phone a lot better than I do, the website. But a lot of times you're going to find more pictures down here. You're going to find family members, siblings, parents. Usually there's, spouse and then children. Let's go to this one here. And so what I like about this is you can click on it and you can take it back. Like a lot of times you can go back to, hold on, I'll put something in here real quick. If I can get back here. All righty. Okay, let's see. That's going to make me put a first name. Let's try this. See, this is different than the. Here we go. I keep hitting the wrong search. I want to find, there's one in here somewhere that I know will take it back across over to Ireland. So let me find it. That's not it. So anyways, it's going to, everybody that, has a last name Maxwell or a H in front of it, it's going to pop up. And this is all for the the US right here. I think that's what I added. Let me see. And I'm trying to get to a specific person so I can show you how it will take the genealogy in each direction. And really, Maxwell's, they're pretty much all related. Not to Ghislaine Maxwell, by the way, because that's a name that her father took on when he moved to the UK to sound more British, I guess, but it's actually a Scottish name. So, holy hell, there's a lot of Maxwells. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to go back. And search. Give me just a second. Okay, so for instance, hold on, let me check and make sure everything's good here. I am, oh my God. Yeah, county and state. I'm sorry. I just got back over to the side where the messages are at. I have not even, I'm just been sailing along. Yes, but you can put a name in there and a county. So I'm back over on the other side right now, but I will come back to it. So Hugh Maxwell, if you click down here, you're going to find that he has his parents, his spouse, and all the siblings and his children. So you can click on this one right here. And so this one has a bio. It's son of Hugh Maxwell and Sarah Corbett Maxwell, born in Minterburn County, Tyrone, Ireland. I think they came over in 1701. And his one of his sons is my great on and on grandpa. So that's how I know that one. Now let me get back over here to the studio, and is it showing? Yes, give a name. I'll come back and check it, and I'll look it up for you. And then let's go to another website that I love. And this is, let me share it. Okay, so it's the US Gen Project. Okay, so it's interactive. The map is, you can come over here, you can click on, okay, we'll go back to the Maxwells over here. So this is kind of like, it's kind of like a state historical society, but each state is different. They're going to have different research tools. They're going to have different records. You have to think a lot of times there could have been a fire in, say, Ohio at a courthouse, but not at, Essex, Massachusetts courthouse, whatever. So like some places will have certain records, some places don't, some places get flooded. I mean, there's all kinds of events that have happened throughout history to why some places don't have certain records, obviously, wars and stuff like that. But let's see. You can click on and see cemeteries, mode device, drag bar. Okay, we're not on that. So you can also, we'll go back to the main page of this, and US Gen Web up here. So some of these you can click on and they'll show you counties. I'm sorry, I was reading Sandy. This is the Illinois Gen Web project. There's going to be different organizations that you can go to. There's some of them have newspapers online that you can go to. So it's going to give you a list of resources. And if you click on a state, and that state is, participating in it, they're going to have the state, and then they're going to have the counties, and then they're going to have county like specific sites that you would look, like say Chicago, you'd go to the US Gen Web, you'd go to Illinois, and then you'd click on Cook County. So those are going to be, some other free sites that you can have. There's more, but I'm going to do another live sometime soon. Let me get out of this stuff here. All right. Okay, let me see. Lulu Shapiro, that's what's on the headstone, I believe, not her. Yes, you want me to look it up? And sure, yep, let me pull up Find a Grave. Okay, and let me share the page. And okay. Kingston, PA, Shapiro. Okay. Is it Kingston County? Oops, my bad. And hold on, let me go back over to the other page. Make sure I spelled that right. Lulu. Okay, let me hit search. And I'm going to come back over to your okay, so actually I finally put my mail on page. I really didn't. Okay, yeah, I have my email. I put my email on my page as well. Cemetery in Kingston. Okay, so is this the person? Let me look. Yeah, it looks like this first one here. Daughter of Levi and Ida Fisher, wife of Henry Shapiro, mother of Frances Marion, Miss Murray B. Frankel, Lester Shapiro, and Selig Shapiro. Israel Levi Fisher and Ida are parents. Spouse Henry Shapiro. Okay, hold on because I can't see the comments. I got to come back over here. Is that what you're talking about? That's it. Yep. Yeah. And so, like, okay, I'm going to go back over here. See, it's nice because everything that is listed here, a lot of times, a nurse, not a nurse, the funeral home. I think that's where you go before, the funeral home is a nursing home. A lot of times they will put the cemetery will put um the obituary and they list it for them. So a lot of times you see the cemeteries or the funeral homes will be the ones that are at the bottom. They're the sponsor or they're the original lister of the profile on Find a Grave. So yeah, you can click on all these people, and I'm sure like this one, they all have pictures. They're well maintained, obviously. So I won't click on them because I don't know. I don't want to like put anybody out there, but I'm sure that they have bios. I'm sure that there's like the dates are correct and stuff like that. Just by the way, the whole family is right here. It looks very well maintained. Okay, now I'm back over here. My great great aunt, the Leah. Oh yeah. Okay. Her sister Sarah's my. Okay. That's cool. I have my Maxwell family, and this is only I'm not like some genius genealogist. This is only because they were very well documented throughout history, but I have them back to I can't pronounce it. I guess it's like Caverlock. That's what I say. Caverlock Castle. It's in Dumfries, Scotland, just north of England. And I have them back to I think the 1300s, so the 14th century, possibly the 13th century, but that's only because the family's well documented throughout history. Even back as far as to the Isle of Man and the son of Maxus or something like that. But a lot of that's probably bullshit, honestly, because the further back you go, if you don't have papers and documentation, you have nothing. Like there's a genealogy proof standard that people do, and that's to exhaust everything. Like, so say you have a matching article at newspapers .com or whatever, go to the state site too and make sure that the two articles match. Make sure that they're that you have the same one, the same parents. Everything has to match. And if you're going to do it for people, you have to write all that down. You have to write how you got it, where you got it from. You have to source everything to have a perfect family tree. And it's hard to do. You can only get back so far. For instance, I go back to Edward Winslow, which was one of he signed something way back in the day, with the Mayflower Compact. And I knew that one of my great grandmother's names was Winslow, but I couldn't find her parents. So finally somebody sourced it on Find a Grave. And so I went to those names, and then I went and did my own research on those names and came back with, yes, that's actually parents of this Winslow person that I was looking for years, like ever since I started this early 2000s. So Yeah, it's fun. Hold on, let me see. Whoops. Why is it doing that? Okay. Yeah, it's to have I've seen cemeteries that are like not taken care of. At least you can tell people that still care if you go by a cemetery and it's old. And I understand people get old, people family dies and there's nobody left there, but I just think it's like out of respect, people should keep that area clean, like I just you keep it clean. Okay, hold on, let me see. Oh wow, okay. If you want me to look anything up, just let me know. My email is there's 2 emails on there, but, I would use the Gmail one, and just email me, and if there's anything you get stuck on, if you hit a brick wall, just let me know, and I can work with you and help you to find that. I'm taking a break from it because I was doing a triangulation on an adoption from Italy, and it was near 1960, and there was a some kind of crop famine, and so it seems like that year was a big year for adoption, and so everybody that this person links up to is also adopted. So it's been really hard, trying to build a family tree out of it. So sometimes you just have to give yourself a break and then it'll eventually come to you or the records will replenish and you'll find what you're looking for. But other than that, if you want to send me an email, feel free to. I'd love to help you. No charge, by the way, and obvious, but I think I am going to get off here for now. I'll try to come back tomorrow because I want to do some more. There's like so many places you can go. So newspapers.com costs money, right? There's state archives, there's government archives, there's hold on, let me find which one it is because I've written a bunch of them down so I don't forget. But um well, there's the Wayback Machine, and there's another one, and it's probably back in my room, but I wrote it down. But there's so many ways that you can do your own genealogy for free. And you can, you can check it while you're doing it, you're double checking it, you're making sure you're sourcing everything correctly, and you know it's right. And then you hand that down to your kids. One bit of advice, though, I will say, yes, you can. You can email me your number. Yes, absolutely. Um, One thing I'll say is talk to your older family members, get recordings, get write notes down, ask them what their grandparents were like, ask them if they remember their grandparents talking about their grandparents, like go way back. As long as you can get that from somebody, always get it. Not only is it's interesting, but it also helps in the future for ancestors that come along or, descendants that come along and like genealogy, it helps them out. So I will be getting off here, but yes, please email your number and I'll give you a call or I'll send you a text. But I think that's it for today. And I will be back on tomorrow. So I hope you guys have a good day. Hold on, let me see. I won't be around. Okay. Oh yeah. So what you can do, Yehuda, is you can go to other. Okay, so if you know neighborhoods that were lived in, there are ways you can find some of these records by somebody living next to him, but there are a few things that are hard to find, like, African American genealogy, Jewish genealogy. I don't know if it's different as far as what they release. I have no idea. But and also Hispanic, a lot of Hispanic records, my kids are part Mexican, so I do a lot of research down there and everything is going to be in Spanish, but luckily you can get a translator on your phone and kind of undo that. But it's still kind of hard. There's certain places that are really hard to do, but as long as you have all the good sources of, all your tools that you need to look, you can find something. Oh, you're older. I know I'm getting to that point, but I do have my great grandmother and my great aunt on cassette tape, and I transferred it over to, digital, obviously. But they were doing I was a kid, and I know this because when my great grandma recorded it, I she was talking about me being little, and so to hear their voice, it's crazy. And then you find out things that, like, oh, I didn't know my, great grandma came from there or went here and did this. So there's just so much that you can learn from them, and just always pass it down. Write it down, record it, whatever way you can do it, but it's important to people that do appreciate genealogy. So, do they have any Shapart? Who's that? Me or who? I have no idea. It's hard to find. I know that the one that I'm researching from Italy it's crazy because it's all from this one specific area, and it's it's on, I would say, the northeast coast, right there in Italy. It shouldn't be that hard because it was a small village, but it was a big town. It's something Pescara, and I can't remember the other names. I have it all written down in my book in my room, but oh, yes, yes, yeah. They have, yeah, my daughter does, and Ashkenazi. I think it's Ashkenazi. I think hers just went up. She was just telling me the other day, as a matter of fact, she's out in the living room, but I think she's like 4% and 6%. So yeah, they did have that DNA. I do too. I have Ashkenazi DNA, just a little, and then I have Italian, I have French, I have Scottish, obviously, but I have a lot. But this is like an obsession. I love history. I've always liked history. That was like one of my favorite, things in school growing up was history. And then to learn your family's history and connect it to that history that you've learned throughout time, it's so cool. I love it. Yes, yes, there's Portuguese and Spanish. My daughter, they have different dads. My daughter has I know exactly where she's from, where the family is from, just because of the name and the DNA. But the thing is, I don't I can't find the connection of when they came over because they were in New Mexico for years, like years and years and decades, so it goes back pretty far. But yeah, my daughter does have that. My son has a little bit of it too. So, all right. Well, I'm going to get off of here, and I will be here tomorrow, and I'll see you, and I'll be looking out for your email too so I can get a hold of you, and we can do that, get that started for you.